So today I want to talk about a book called 4321 by Auster, who is an American writer, and apparently he wrote 4321 coming into his 70th birthday, and it took him 3 years to write it, and it's a culmination really of his writing career. I hadn't read anything by him until I read 4321, and I'll talk about him in a different vlog when I'm looking at second book, Successes and Failures. I read it on my Kindle, hence why I've only got a copy of the cover rather than the actual physical book in my hand. But I am planning on getting this book physically, so I can put it on my bookshelf and lend it to people. So what's 4321 about? It's about all the influences there are on us, early childhood influences, things that happen to us, random events that occur, friends that we make, what happens around us, how much money we have, and how all those things influence the person that we end up becoming. So 4321 is literally about the 4 lives of Archie Ferguson. We meet him age 13 and then we follow through his life. So Archie Ferguson is born to the same set of parents in the same part of America, but each Archie Ferguson turns out to be quite a different person based on the things that happen to him. And also it really examines the fact that random events can really completely change someone's life. So an accident can completely change the course that your life takes, as can meeting somebody that really inspires a passion in you. In all of the Archie Fergusons he's interested in writing, and in all of them he has passions and interests, but those passions and interests are different depending on the influences that he's had. I loved the book. It's a long book. It's 900 pages long, so it might be a good book to take on holiday with you if you've got lots of time to sit and read it. I personally like long books because I read a lot. I read every day and I read very fast, and so short books can be a bit disappointing. I sometimes even don't buy a book because it's too short. If it's under 200 pages, then I kind of feel like I'm going to get invested in all these characters and then it's going to be over before it started. So it is a long book, I warn you, but worth the effort, completely worth the effort. I found it fascinating looking at how just little differences in Archie's early life could impact greatly on the person that he was. So it will suit people who are curious about life, curious about maybe the choices that you've made in your own life, and you know, if you're one of those people that thinks, what if I'd have done that instead of this? I mean, I think about the fact that at 18 I went on and trained as a nurse, which then meant I was in Cambridge and met my husband. As a result of that, we've had the children that we've had, and we've had the life experience that we've had. What would have happened if I'd have gone to university at 18 instead? Because it certainly wouldn't have been Cambridge based on my A-level results. I wouldn't have met my husband, and my life would have been completely different. Would it have been better? Would it have been worse? Or would it have been the same but different? I don't know, but it's something that as I am getting older now and beginning to reflect back on what I've done with my life and where I want to go next, this book really chimed with me about some of those choices that we make and some of those relationships that we make. So I would say that this book would appeal to any age, but it may particularly appeal to people who are maybe slightly older, so people who have lived a bit longer. Though having said that, if you read it when you're younger, it might make you really think carefully about the choices that you do make. But equally, I think one of the book's messages is we can't control everything, and random events occur to us that alter our lives and make us who we are, and there's nothing you can do about job losses or accidents or even, you know, things in your family like divorce or death. You can't control those things, but those things are going to have an impact on you. As a psychologist, this book obviously really chimes with me because I spend my working life looking at the influences that affect people and affect their mental health and their ability to learn and to get on in the world. And I am very aware of how important family relationships are, how important friendships are, and how important the right kind of support is around you, as well as the right kind of information. You know, if you've got someone that's really likes running, but no one introduces them to athletics, then they may not use that running in a way that is going to enhance their lives. Or you might have someone that really enjoys watching films, but their family see that as something that is irrelevant and not important, and therefore don't encourage them to actually use their creativity and their love of films to maybe to actually look at working in that field. So as a psychologist, I think this book very much chimes with my understanding of how we grow and develop, but it was also just a really good read. It was just, you know, you wanted to know what happened to each Ferguson next, and you cared about each version of Ferguson, very much so. And when, sadly, not all the arches make it until old age, it really is quite gut-wrenching when you see the events happening that are out of his control. So my recommend for you this week is Paul Auster, 4321. Give it a go. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you think it's a fantastic read? Did you get bored and stop reading it halfway through? I'd love to hear what you think of it. Until next time, bye!